Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosie Long. I'm an econ major at Tuskegee University graduate student, and today I will be presenting on the economic impact of property in Macon County, Alabama. My presentation will go as follows. First, I will have an introduction, followed by a literature review, methodology, results, and I will conclude with a conclusion. Introduction: the importance of land. For centuries, land has been a source of wealth. For African Americans, land meant personal freedom. During the civil rights movement, African American landowners were the prominent figures. They were the first ones to actually have people to go out and vote. They were the first at the forefront of boycotting. So landowners played a prominent role in the civil rights movement. The importance of land for individuals. For individuals, land generates income. That source of income can be farming, a business, or rental properties. And it's also where we reside, so your local houses and apartments. And we also use land for our recreational activities, such as hunting, fishing, hiking, skating, and things of that nature. For the importance of land for our community is it supports the infrastructure, such as buildings and services, so your local schools and things of that nature. And it also provides income for the community, such as taxes. So land and taxes go hand in hand. Land is assessed for tax purposes based on its use value. So you have agricultural, forestry, and commercial and residential, just a few things you can use the land for. Land is also assessed based on its improvement. So anything that you add to the land also brings the value of that land up and possibly increases the taxes. So when you add a house, a lake, pond, barns, or fencing, or irrigation systems. So there are two types of land. You have a clear title as well as a heir property. And clear title is when a specific tract of land has a recorded deed. It's considered to have a clear title, and ownership via clear title enables the landowner to use it as collateral for mortgages, participate in USDA programs, and they can use the land to generate income without interruptions. The next type of property that you have is a clouded title or heir property. And when heir property is when land is passed down from one generation to the next without a will or in state, and the land is considered to be heir property and it has a clouded title. Clouded title meaning that there are so many owners that you may not know exactly how many owners are to that particular tract of land. Characteristics of heir property ownership. Heirs, also called tenants in common, do not own specific acres, but rather interest in the land based on its relationship to the deceased owner. In some cases, a small tract of land, it could be a half an acre, could have up to 10, even 100 tenants in common. The problems that are associated with heir property are all heirs must agree on all financial uses and other decisions for the land. So if you want to make any improvements, want to use that land for timber, harvesting, or any rental, you have to get the agreement of all the tenants. Another problem associated with it is heir property cannot be used for collateral and is ineligible for certain USDA programs, meaning that hinders a lot of our farmers who want to use their heir property for farming. They cannot because maybe everyone may not agree for those uses, and they cannot participate in those programs because they're ineligible. So with those problems comes heir property being underutilized and in terms of economic activity and considered dead capital. And dead capital just means that although they can generate income from this land, it's more than likely impossible. And this possibly results in lower or lost tax revenues for the community. So our hypothesis: heir property is almost always assessed at a lower value than title property. Therefore, we hypothesize that there would be a significant difference in the assets, land, and tax value between heir property and title property. And lastly, we hypothesize that it would result in a potential loss for Macon County. The purpose of this study. The purpose of the study is to compare the assessed value of air property to title property and to determine whether there any difference impact in local tax revenue. Our objective is to determine the difference in air property and title property by evaluating acres, assessed value, and assessed taxes. My study site is Macon County, Alabama. Macon County is located in south central Alabama. It is a part of the United States Black Belt. Macon County is comprised of Tuskegee, Notasulga, Shorter, and Fort Davis, and together it has about 81.1% African American population, and 30.6% of those live below the poverty level. So to my right, we have it shows the air parcels versus the all parcels versus the air parcels, and from there we can see that Macon County has a total of 18,204 parcels. Of those parcels, 16,836 are title parcels, and the other 1,368 are air parcels. And the picture to my left shows that these are all of the air parcels that are located throughout Macon County. So for our methodology and data, land tract data was obtained through the Macon County's Commissioner website, and then from there we coded the land by its land use. And for this particular research, we're going to look at agriculture because we want to try to have at least difference in the land as possible. Therefore, it'll be easy to show the difference between the land. From there, we use the agricultural parcels to compare land value, acres, taxes, and we use the t-test to show the comparison. So for our acres between agricultural parcels, we show that there were 6,321 parcels that were considered ag parcels, and 501 were considered air property parcels. We found that property ag owners own about 31 acres of land, and air property owners ag owners owned about 16 acres of land, and they were significantly different. For results of land value, total assessed land value is a combination of the value of the land plus any improvements. So for our results of land value for ag parcels, title property ag owners land valued at about $59,000, which was significantly higher than air property ag owners who land value was about $32,000. For improvement value, title property owners made improvements of about $23,000 to their land, whereas air property owners had a significant lower value of $9,000. For the total land values, title property ag owners had about $82,000 of total land, whereas air property owners had about $40,000, which was a significant difference. For taxes paid yearly, title property ag owners paid about $261 per year in taxes, which was significantly higher than air property owners who paid about $151 per year. So for our conclusion, title property owners own more land than air property owners. Title property is assessed at a higher value than air property owners. Title property owners have more improvements on their land than air property owners, and title property owners pay higher taxes yearly than their land on their land than air property owners. So for my conclusion, we found that Macon County has a potential loss in tax revenue due to air property and agricultural land. Macon County loses us approximately $55,000 in a year in air property taxes paid on air property, and approximately $178,000 for all parcels. All parcels. And this revenue and the money that is lost could be used to fix local roads, upgrade our buildings, and contribute the money to the school. So here are my references. And I would like to thank my advisors, Dr. Diabate and Dr. Zabawa, my committee members, Dr. Fall, Dr. Tech, and Dr. Hargrove, my family, my friends, and creator. This concludes my presentations. Are there any questions?